Green in the B main, 15 laps ahead of him. Who will transfer through to the big dance? We will find out in a few moments' time as Daniel Day and Nino Mendez sail off into turn number 1. For the first time, Dougie Powell spins at the tail of the field, but the green lights will stay on. And we'll race our way down the back straight into turn number 3. Mason Fenner has a bit of a moment. The guys at the front of the field don't have to do anything too silly. We are taking the top 6. Top 6 on this freshly prepared Geraldton City Speedway. And Nino Mendez finds himself at the B-Bane by virtue of a non-finish in his opening qualifying heat earlier tonight. He was leading that heat race. And if he'd brought it home in that one, he'd be starting in the first couple of rows for the final, but he's got to go the long way via the B-Main. He leads from Ricky Williams, Daniel Day. The pole setter's now back to third. He's got Mason Fenner and Peter Katona for company as they head down the back straight to turn number 3. Fenner and Katona working to the outside on Daniel Day in the 2 car. The all-white machine coming into the front straight. Leon Benson in the final transfer spot from Brody Day. And Dougie Powers rounds them out. As we're 1/5 of the way home, 3 down and 12 remaining. And it's all Nino Mendez. A little bit extra track time ahead of the final, looking to start from P17. Now state final for modified sedans. He leads Ricky Williams, Mason Fenner, Peter Katona, who's occupying 4th place in car number 16. And the Falcon from Morawar. Brody Day back in 5th place from Leon Benson, Brody Day. And Dougie Powers is the way they run as Mason Fenner works his way up into 2nd place, puts Williams back to 3rd. And Katona, Day, and Leon Benson, but Mendez has got out by 2.1 seconds. Back to the other number 11 in the state title. Of course, Mendez, the collie number 11. Mason Fenner in the Geraldton number 11 for modified sedan. Fenner now 2nd from Williams. Katona, Daniel Day, the pole setters, fell back to 5th place in car number 2. And Leon Benson finds himself the final transfer spot from Brody Day. And Dougie Powers, that Falcon power plant, been struggling all weekend with some mechanical woes with his Falcon. He runs at the tail of the field of this B-Main. But Nino Mendez brings the 11 car out of turn number 4 down the front straight. The Element Produce number 11 from Fenner. Ricky Williams and Peter Katona, a great battle. They're 2 Falcons for 3rd and 4th place behind Fenner. Daniel Day and Leon Benson, your top 6 of our race leader. Nino Mendez just comes up on the 57 Falcon of Dougie Powers. As they exit turn number 4 to our leaders, Mason Fenner, trying to run down the other number 11 in this state title. And Nino Mendez, as we're well over halfway home. In fact, we're 2/3 of the way home in the B-Main. And it's Mendez from Fenner. Peter Katona is now 3rd. Wrestles that away from Ricky Williams. Daniel Day back in 5th from Leon Benson. Back to Brody Day, and 1 lap down is Dougie Powers. So Brody Day and Dougie Powers are 2 cars that won't transfer through at this point in time. But with 3.5 laps remaining, Nino Mendez and the Element Produce Commodore leads by 1.7 seconds back to Mason Fenner, who's doing a nice job. And looks like he's on track to start his 2nd state final in the space of 3 weeks after being in the production sedan A-Main down at Narrogin 3 weeks ago. Katona in 3rd from Ricky Williams. Daniel Day and Leon Benson. Top 6 from Brody Day, and Dougie Powers rounds them out. But Nino Mendez and car number 11, a little bit of fluid coming from the back of the Commodore of Mason Fenner. Gap has shrunk to 1.4 seconds back to the driver sitting back in 2nd place in Leon Benson. In fact, Leon Benson in the final transfer spot at this point in time. But down the back straight, as he exits turn number 4, does Nino Mendez. Mason Fenner tries, he may, closes the gap, but he won't get there, and Mendez will hold on with fluid coming from the back of the Commodore, but he'll win the B-Main from the other number 11 in Mason Fenner. Further back to Peter Katona. Ricky Williams will be your top 4 as Leon Benson on the final lap will still 5th place away from Daniel Day. Daniel Day will be the last car to transfer through. He'll start from P22. And Brody Day and Dougie Powers will miss out. They'll be 7th and 8th respectively in the B-Main. But fluid coming from the back of car number 11 of Nino Mendez there in the concluding stages. I don't know if it was fuel or something. I'll imagine it is fuel coming out of the back of the 11 car of Nino Mendez. He holds on by 0.8 of a second from Mason Fenner. So it'll be Mendez and Fenner will start positions 17 and 18 in the state final for modified sedan. Peter Katona and Ricky Williams will go from P19 and 20, and Leon Benson and Daniel Day will go from 21 and 22. Brody Day and Dougie Powles, who contested the B main, will miss out on that. In fact, Brody Day had a flat right rear tyre at the end of that race in car number 8. So he won't transfer through. He'll be a spectator for the A main, will Brody Day, along with Dougie Powles, the 2 cars that miss out. That did contest that B main. We had a heap of cars not even contest the B main, including Dave McLeod, Rowan Thomas, and Brandon Mongu. And Riley Pake was another one as well that wasn't in the B main. So it was at one point scheduled to be a 12-car B main. It ended up being the 8 of them that went round.